What do you think is the best way to get back on track after things kind of you get a little dip in the road?
I think the idea is to just keep going. For as many times as you fall down, as cliche as this is, as many times as you fall down, to get up that one more time more. If you're for some kind of extrinsic motivation and you need something to help get you up when you're at the bottom, I would think of the scene in Rocky where Mick's in the corner and he's like, get up, son of a bitch, because Mick believes in you. Like, I just think, if you have a friend or a family member where when you're laying it all on the line and you're feeling down and out or bummed out, have that one person or that one image that you can tie that kind of response that makes you want to get up and take action and take that initiative, then that will help you be that much stronger when you do bottom out. Because that's what life is. It's a series of mountains and valleys, and the idea is to know how to get up when you've fallen down. And I think that as people who adapt, that's where the greatest lessons that we learn exist, is when we are in those valleys. We learn when we're at our lowest, because we learn how to adapt and keep moving forward, and just pushing forward. I mean, a lot of the cliches that are in Rocky are true. Cliches more often than not are cliches because of the fact that they are true.
Right.
So, you have to be conscious of the inspiration that is around us at all times. And again, that's something that Elliot talked about in one of his articles, I think a couple of days ago. He was talking about inspiration. Inspiration literally means to breathe life into. But have this breath of life. If you have something that inspires you, but you fail to take action, then the inspiration or the motivation that you had is meaningless. Mm-hmm. It's you when you're bottomed out, quote unquote, to continue to push forward that shows how inspired you truly are. Right. So it's consistent action, and it doesn't matter how many times you fall. What really counts in life is how many times you get up.
Excellent, man. Like we were talking about this before, whenever things are bad and it just doesn't seem like anything's going your way, you got to understand that if you quit, it's going to be that one extra step or that one extra day that things are going to turn around, because no matter how low it gets, it's all about hills and valleys, and that just means that the good light, good times are right around the corner. So you got to keep on persevering and keep on pushing forward. So get up, you son of a bitch, because Maddie loves you.
Kind of related to the clients that we have. Some people just have a bad day. Some people just have a rough time, just not recovering, and they'll come into the gym and they're just trashed. And so the training levels aren't optimal. I think just connecting with people, whether it's an email, a text, a phone call, just to let them know that you're there to help support. I think everybody needs some type of pick-me-up, whether it's a song, a video. My wife and I do that back and forth, You're thinking of something right away, you hear a song, you connect that with that person, and you just try and send it to them. You know what I mean? Kid has a bad day training, you send them a text, hey, don't worry about it, you'll get it tomorrow. Or, they have a bad game, whatever it is. I mean, yeah, ups and downs, money comes and goes. Relationships go up and down. Just try not to get too low with the valleys and not too high with the hills. You just kind of, you stay on that middle ground, because, what do they say? The more failures you have, you're closer to success. We've all gone on job interviews or had something bad, or, you miss a PR. Well, shit, there's always tomorrow. We're not getting any younger, but I think I'm way better now than I was 10 years ago. And if you knew better, you do better. So, it's just a constant process of learning. You know what I mean? I mean, all of us, even with our diet or our training, shit, if I would have known this 4 or 5 years ago, I would have done something differently. Well, yeah, I mean, I would have graduated college and had all these other things happen, but, I'm right where I'm at, like you said 3 questions prior, because of what I've done up to this point. So how can I improve on where I'm at? I've always been trying to do that. I mean, I'm blessed to have what I have, the people in my life who I have, but it's always connecting with others and getting that aha moment. You know what I mean? Like what you've been doing, I tried to do 6 months ago with the squat thing, and it's constantly growing and progressing. And then I saw you threw it on the Dirty 35, and your squats just freaking jumped phenomenally. And I'm like, shit, I need to kick myself in the ass again and get back on that horse. And so now I'm squatting 3 days a week again. And so it's like, it's that constant progression of staying, I can keep doing this. I know I can. Watching motivational videos on YouTube is huge for me. I watch that Eric Thomas, and I watch guys that just succeed, or I watch compilations where guys are just nailing weights back and forth. You've seen them old strongman videos or Kazma or I sent you Konstantinov the other day where the guy's just freaking 2,105 pounds raw just with a belt, and the bench he didn't even hit with the belt. He just hit it straight raw, 530 pounds or something. It's just like you watch that shit, you get fired up, and you got to sometimes motivate your own ass to get off this chapped couch, and go do something. And so that's what it is in business, whatever. Go outside, hand out some flyers, get out and just connect with one person. You never know if you reconnect with that old client, if they'll come back. It's just about constant contact and being positive and pushing yourself to get better. And if other people have a bad day, share your experience. You know what I mean? They might not be going through the same thing you are, but something might relate. Talk to other people and have them, hey, go talk to so-and-so. They need a little pick-me-up. And they'll go and do it. And say maybe it's somebody they look up to. And so it's just ebb and flow. You got a little yin and yang with everything. So there's good and bad. Hey, it's okay. It's going to happen. It's going to turn around.
Yeah.
But we are in control of our own economy and our own attitude and our own relationship. So if you don't like something, change it,
Take that personal responsibility. That's great, man.
For me, I was thousands of miles away, 17-hour flight. If I failed, I would end up in the street. If these combatives fail, there would have been a knife thrusted at their side. If they failed in their target and didn't take out what they needed to take out, there's a higher level of there is no fail. I can't describe it. It's like they just don't have it in their mindset. It's like either I die or I fail. It's
not an option.
It's just not an option. Like Will Smith said that one YouTube video. I will outwork you. I will die trying. Mm-hmm. So I think it's hard for people to grasp that. But when I train my fighters too, you got three rounds. You got 2 minutes. You got 3 minutes. That 10 seconds stick. Tack, 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 10 seconds left, and you better leave it in the ring, because when you come out of the ring, you don't want to look back and go, oh, I could have done my best. No, it's done, dude. It's done. And I'd rather you lose, but with integrity, saying, I did my best, coach. And I could see that as a coach. Well, that's the beauty about training these guys. People think trainers give always to their clients. They give back to me. So when I see that, it just gives me chills and goosebumps. It really does, So
awesome. That's great, man.
You die trying. That's all I gotta say.
Die trying.
I think the only thing you can really do is first and foremost try to lead by example. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times that's, if you stay positive and you stay optimistic, oftentimes that kind of feeds into other people. Likewise, if you're overly negative, well, it's just going to feed into their negativity. So sometimes you can kind of see a positive reaction if you just stay optimistic and try to lead by example. Mm-hmm. I've only had I think a couple of clients in my lifetime I had to part ways with, mm-hmm. But, it happens. You can't really control it, and I'm not going to be somebody's cheerleader and somebody who just, if they mysteriously, if I know they're lying to me about what they should be doing and they want to blame me, I'm not going to, I'm not going to hold your hand, I'm not going to coddle you, and I'm not going to listen to somebody lying and then, blame me because of it. So if somebody's not going to change, you have to cut ties and forget about it and move on.
I would just say putting in perspective. And I know I said that earlier, but really, honing in on, for instance, I've had 3 ACL reconstructions through football, and my knees, I'm very limited as to what I can do. However, you could look at that and get upset and be like, well, it sucks I can't sprint, or it sucks I can't heavy squat or clean as much as I want to. Or you look at that and say, man, I can freaking walk. I can do 90% of the movement I need to do to be fit, and I have that ability. I think too often we let little things, I said, there are people, whether it's our brave soldiers protecting our country who come back with some significant injuries, or just people battling these crazy diseases they can't control, who would love to be in our situation. So if you can really think about that when, the alarm goes off 6 a.m. and you're like, I'm too tired to work out, or you're like, I just don't have time. I'd just rather not. If you can twist that around and be like, wait a second, there are people far worse than me right now. I am privileged to be healthy and have the opportunity to go work out. I'm going to get this shit done and just get after it. I think putting everything in perspective will literally bitch slap you sometimes in a good way.
I don't know if it's so much going against the grain. It's just, I actually wrote an article about ridding your life of fitness and nutrition insanity, like you said. I'll have people that come to me to be trained by me, and they'll have told me, I did this in the past, and usually it's always cardio or some type of low weight, high rep system or whatever, and they'll keep doing it. And they're like, but I never got the results. I'm like, well, you kept doing the same thing, expecting something different to occur.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just saying, getting people to realize if you want whatever results they may be, success leaves clues.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see how I look or how my clients look and you say, oh, I want to look like that, well, realize we do things differently. And so you may have to just get uncomfortable for a little bit and try those things to get the results you want. I don't know if that's necessarily against the grain. It's just trying to, if they tell me they like how I look or they like my lifestyle or something, I'll try to tell them this is how I do it. And like I said, it's usually trying to take a stripped down, simplified approach to get there, just to make it as simple as possible.
Best way to add value to someone else's life, my belief is to just give them energy, to make sure that, you leave them on a positive note. As the gym, when someone walks in the door, it could just be something as simple as, connect transfer, like that idea of giving someone a high five and saying, hey, what's up, man? And like just being enthusiastic, because I believe that people will give what they get. So if you dump in energy, you're going to get that energy back. So I'm very fortunate in that sense, in the style of training that I do. It's a small group. So when I dump in energy, I'm getting it back threefold, fourfold, six times what I dump in, because there's 6 bodies or 6 clients that I'm dealing with on any given hour. So it's always cool to see people leave better than when they walked in. So I just think being aware of your own attitude, how you carry yourself, and energy that you invest in that, I guess that to get all existential, the aura that you give off. Like if you constantly give off this positive aura, then people around you just by default will become positive. It's funny because I just read an article this morning by Elliot Hulse talking about the interaction between negative and positive, masculine and feminine, and that's balance in life. So this is another guy that I like to read a lot is Elliot. So again, back to what his article is alluding to is just basically being more positive and making sure that you leave a positive footprint on someone's life. And to, I guess, kind of summarize in a quote, there's an author, Pericles, Greek philosopher, who says that what we leave behind in life is not engraved in stone monuments, but woven into the lives of others. And I think that if you're conscious of the impact you have on someone's life, then that will change someone's life. You need to be conscious of the footprint that you leave on their heart, I guess, to again, be like a little bit, soft and emotional or whatever. But that's still, if you're conscious of the impact you can have on someone's life as an individual, then that will make the difference in the way that you approach that in situations. Be a lot more tolerant.
I tell you, my own personal development has really skyrocketed when I've taken the time to really focus on my recovery and restoration. So many people have so much stress in their lives and that stress comes from all kinds of different resources or different ways, whether it's physical, emotional, mental. Your boss is giving you problems. You have stress at the job, physically. Maybe you're a manual labor, whatever it is. And then you come to the gym, and then your coach, it's like a very high intensity day. That might be the very last thing you need is more stress onto your already overly stressed out life. You need something that's going to alleviate that stress and take it away from you. And that's mental, it's emotional, all these things. So that rest, recovery, and restoration is really, really imperative.
I definitely think you want to always be surrounded by people that are going to help build you up and people that can maybe wherever you have a weakness, maybe it's one of their strengths, or people that have the same ideals and goals to achieve. You can't have all these driven aspirations and then people that just sit on the side and just be like, I don't care or whatever. So the people I try to surround myself with are people that are motivated, people that are driven, people that have positive viewpoints, people that are optimistic, and also people that are going to get out there and take action, not just people that say, I want this to happen, and then just, wait for it to occur. People that just grab the bull by the horns and make it happen.
Right now I was reading the most recent, that book where, what's his name? Nate Green from Skinny to Brawny.
Mm-hmm.
He had that crazy diet where he packed on like 22 pounds in like 4 or 5 weeks, and then he dropped 14 in 2 days, and then gained 8 pounds back. Mm-hmm. That was something that really caught my eye, and that was the most recent thing. I think just to get off topic real quick, what you asked, if you go over the diet plan, I think the first year I opened, a big fall in our programming was the diet. And I think we implemented that the second year. And if you can read up on diet, because I forgot who told me, I think it was Michael Dangle. If you can get some of these kids to get a girlfriend, I mean, just guys that walk in that have never had a girlfriend, and 6 months after they join your gym, they've got their first girlfriend in high school at 15, 16. These kids are riding the highest cloud. Their confidence is up. Their shoulders are back. They're standing tall. I mean, they lose a little belly fat and they look better and their shirts are fitting better. I mean, it's self-confidence. So, I mean, I like to read up on a lot of diet stuff right now. That's just one of my main things for the kids coming back from football. You know, they're a little beat down. They need to replenish their body. They need to fix a few injuries. I think diet has a big play in that right now. So I read that Skinny to Brawny thing. A few other things I've been looking at are just more business wise. Reading a lot of Bedros' stuff on PT Power, Bedros Keuilian, Chris McComb stuff. I mean, just trying to grow the business, because right now it's about connecting with others and trying to see in the community what we can do to grow the business. So I think Alwyn Cosgrove the other day, I think you were on his Facebook thing as well this week about unilateral, bilateral stuff for squats. He was saying read as much business stuff one-to-one as you do training stuff. Yeah. And I think that's where a lot of us trainer guys I want to learn as much as I can do to train my guys or girls and teams. But if you're not marketing yourself, if you're not already in a school where they just give you 20, 30 kids every hour, you really got to grow the business at the same pace as you're doing the results part of this. Right. So one-to-one business. So I'm trying to read a lot of Bedros' stuff, and you know, it's not boot camp that I'm looking for, but it is still group training. So I want to get away from the one-on-one stuff and start growing the business. Circle of influence right now. I talk with a lot of local trainers, or local guys that own gyms already, like Corey Beasley, Sean Powers. I try and connect, read your stuff. I watch your videos on YouTube. Again, Elliot's stuff. Just watch other guys, see what they're doing with my type of athletes. DeFranco's huge. I try and read his blogs as soon as they pop out. Yeah. Watch his videos. Mike Wadango, I'll connect to. I have, his personal information. We connect. A lot of the guys that are doing, I read Jason Frugia's stuff. Yeah. So it's not really a lot of one-on-one guy stuff, but I'll read like blogs all the time, see a new post, see something about diet. Frugia's real big now, and he's close out here on the diet stuff, on eating natural.
A lot of people forget that success leaves clues, and it doesn't have to be in your own individual niche. You're looking at things like you brought up Bedros Keuilian, who, it's a lot about boot camps, stuff like that. It's similar, but not exactly the same. So that's easy to see a correlation there, but it's much less easy to see that correlation when you're talking about this guy's running a successful business for a car dealership or a construction company or anything, a computer business. Whatever they're doing that's bringing in success, you can find something. What are they doing? How can I, use some of those traits just to get people? That's it. That's what I'm talking about. All right, the gun show.
I'll leave it with the gun show.
Awesome. Oh, Nia, it's great talking to you.